and welcome to the Asian Critic Chick TV show reviews, where I review your favorite children's TV shows and cartoons from the past to the present. A few months ago, a friend of mine requested that I review one of his favorite shows he remembered watching as a kid. It was the 1985 animated series, Thundercats. Since I had never watched it, I decided to give it a shot. Watching a classic 80s cartoon from my 90s kid perspective, how hard could it be? And this is my take on it. So whether my opinions thrill you, or shock you, or utterly confuse you, I give you my review of Thundercats. But first, let's begin with a little background. An original series that was launched in 1985, Thundercats featured the adventures in an alliance of cat-like humanoid hero characters whose mission was to defend their most powerful weapon, the 𝗬𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗶, from the arch-enemy 𝗨𝗪𝗂𝗶 and his allies, as well as protect the other life forms of 𝗨𝗪𝗂's evil deeds on their newly inhabited planet, Third Earth. Due to its popularity, Thundercats eventually went on to produce 3 of its own comic book series and best-selling merchandise. Even after its final season in 1989, Thundercats continues to have a generous cult following, maintaining its own fan sites and still showing up in cosplays. Okay, enough history, on to the review. After watching it, I could see why the show was popular at the time. It had action, it was creative, it was eye-catching, it showed a lot of skin, many different reasons. Considered to be a new take on animation, the concept behind Thundercats is meant to evoke the feeling of a living comic book. So naturally, those who enjoyed the show are mostly comic book fans. But of course, being a biased 90s kid and not being a regular comic book reader, for me, there were some problems. Some. First, the plot. If there's anything you acquire from watching this show, you'll see that Thundercats has a ginormous plot. With other cartoons, you could probably watch an episode from the 3rd season and not feel like you've missed much, but nope! To understand Thundercats, you basically have to start all the way from square one, the 1st episode, and view the rest in chronological order. Otherwise, you'd just be staring at muscles, flying ships, and explosions without knowing what the hell is going on. And if you did want to know what the hell is going on, well, it's gonna take you a while. So, what is a Thundercat? Oh, I get it! The Thundercats are noble warriors from the planet 𝗀𝗃𝗃 and had to leave their home planet because it was destroyed. So, what is this guy who kind of looks like a troll doll? What is he holding? Oh, it's the 𝗬𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗶. It possesses the source of the Thundercats' power, the 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗴𝗶. So, what does this mummy dude want with the 𝗬𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗶? Oh, so if he gets the 𝗬𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗶, it will grant him complete evil dominion over the planet Third Earth. So, if the 𝗬𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗶 was used to rule Thundera, then why does it have such a great amount of power and value on Third Earth as well? I still don't know anything! Well, maybe that's part of the comic book aspect of it. Unlike many cartoons, Thundercats has a coherent, continuing storyline. So following this plot is kind of like watching a soap opera. You learn more as the story progresses, and if you miss one or a few episodes, you might find yourself suddenly thinking, huh? Who the hell is this guy? I don't remember him. Now, there are a few episodes you could probably skip and not miss a thing, but even so, this show has a habit of having characters that have only appeared in one episode suddenly pop up in a later episode. So I'll bet even avid fans of this show got confused every once in a while when they saw some character they'd never seen before be talking to the Thundercats like an old friend.
The Thundercat? What's the problem? We're your friends. Do Do friends set fire to people's homes, uproot forests, smash fishing boats, burn crops? Is that what friends do? I'm sorry, 𝗨𝗪𝗋𝗋. None of us will ever trust you again.
I don't know who this guy is, but okay. Second, the characters. Now the Thundercats, 𝗨𝗨𝗋𝗋, 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗃, 𝗏𝗃𝗃, 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃, 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃, and 𝗧𝘀𝗃 are very effective as a group on screen. You can definitely see the camaraderie between them, and there's a sense of honor and nobility to the way they talk and behave. But as individual characters, could they get any less complex? Do they have anything else to them besides their special abilities, strength, speed, invisibility, and cunning, and some of their other skills that they use every once in a while? 𝗨𝗪𝗋 is probably the only one we know more about, since the show mainly centers on him, and now he handles his new position of leadership that he's inherited from his father. But 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗃, 𝗏𝗃𝗃, 𝗏𝗃𝗃, 𝗦𝘂𝗃 and 𝗦𝘂𝗃, 𝗧𝘀𝗃? Nothing is revealed about where they came from and how they came to be Thundercats. Why? Aren't those details important? It would give me much more of a reason to watch the show and stay interested, but instead of creating episodes that expand more into the histories of our main characters, Thundercats really likes to spend its time introducing us to new characters. In fact, there's at least one new character in almost every episode. If I had to say which characters stood out the most to me, they would be 𝗏𝗃𝗃 and 𝗧𝘀𝗃. Yeah, there's something about 𝗏𝗃𝗃. I know nothing about her, except she has boobs. And that's just not my misogynistic side talking. Of course, all the other Thundercats are underplayed, but does 𝗏𝗃𝗃 really do anything besides stand around and look hot and run fast? Though she does tend to steal all the visual attention when she is on screen, I've noticed some inconsistencies to the way she's animated, such as the size of her eyes or her lips. I think the only time they really made an effort to make her look good was when she had to race against 𝗨𝗪𝗋 during his anointment trials.
First light.
God, I wish I could wake up in the morning and look like that. And then there's 𝗧𝘀𝗃. Out of all the Thundercats, he's probably the most wild card character. To me, he looks like a hybrid mix of the Sultan from Aladdin, Mushu from Mulan, and Garfield. Isn't that a weird design? And by God is he useless. With everyone being so dignified and heroic, his character throws off everything and he sticks out like a pig in a herd of horses. To be honest, most of the time I wish he wasn't there at all. And let's face it, it's the voice. I mean, really?
Snarf! How are we gonna cross that?
You can swim, can't you?
Snarf! Snarf! Oh, snarf! Ooh, it's boiling hot! Snarf!
Shut up! Third, the animation. There are some things that just look or sound wrong. Although they may be unintentional, need I remind you, these are adults who made this for kids, and I'm sure they knew exactly what they were doing. I mean, well, just take a look at some of these scenes.
𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗃, a baby sea quine. It's trapped under the thunder tank.
Help me push, 𝗨𝗪𝗋𝗋. Now we've really got to move this thing.
The sea quines see that we're trying to help. They're pushing too.
What is that seahorse doing? Is it thrusting itself against the ship to move it? I know it has no arms for pushing, but
They're pushing too.
the animators decided on this?
They're pushing too.
Oh, stop doing that! Just pull it!
They're pushing too.
Ooh.
Break obelisks! What is it? The 𝗨𝗏𝗶𝗀𝗶.
What the hell is that? The robot has a dick? Shaped like a drill? Why? I mean, look at it. It's right there. Even if you weren't trying to look at it, you would still see it. God, stop showing us that thing!
Come on, wake up. Time for some work.
Huh?
What is that?
A giant treetop spider. This one's name is Bushy.
No, too subtle. Oh, wait. Of course. There's the big one. The really big one.
Thundercats now! Thunder! 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 Thundercats!
I know. How could I forget? The sword. It grows. For those of you familiar with this show, its signature recurring event is when Lionel holds up the Sword of Omens to call all the other Thundercats as the blade of the sword grows with every exclamation and shoots a signal into the sky. Heck, they even have it in the intro. But the sword grows? Didn't the producers even consider how much audiences would be snickering at that image? I know I'm not the only one who thinks this looks wrong. I mean, it's just too damn obvious. Okay, maybe these subliminal messages were unintentional, but I'll say it again. These are adults who created this, and they knew what they were doing. It's possible that they threw in these images to mess with the pure and tainted minds of innocent little kids, or if they were clever enough, we're sure that those who grew up with this show would someday look back at these episodes and think, how the hell did I miss that? So here's the question you are probably asking yourselves now. Do I hate this show? Well, no. This is definitely not something I'm used to watching and has a more complicated storyline than what I usually watch. Thundercats didn't exactly resonate with me, but there were some parts of it that I did enjoy. I liked this show's premise and setup, even though it did take me a while to get it. I like these characters, and I really wish I could have learned more about them. What kind of histories do they have? How did they get their special abilities? I like some of its morals and messages, and viewing a TV program that stresses values like trust and friendship is kind of refreshing, considering what's on TV these days. Maybe the comic book enthusiasts did keep this show going for all its 4 seasons. Maybe that's primarily who the creators made this show for. I may not be a part of that targeted audience, but for what it's worth, I think Thundercats is a decent show. That's the best word I can think of to describe it. Nothing about it really thrilled me or got my attention, but it was on the right track to almost getting there. With its unique characters and story, I believe this show could have had so much more potential. So they did do something right. In fact, I might even pick up one of the Thundercats comics sometime to see if they do contain any additional information about the Thundercats and villains. Overall, I'm glad I watched it. I'm grateful that a friend of mine requested me to review it, and I feel it was well worth my time. Thank you for watching the Asian Critic Chick TV show reviews. Catch me back next time, when I won't be talking about fluffy kitties on steroids, but something far more interesting, like Barney. Barney?
Meow 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 meow.